centuries, the tolling bell has been a dominant symbol of the college campus, though some skeptics have wondered about its relation to higher education. Frequently, it is noisy, and the melody, if one exists at all, often is monotonous. But there is something. Take this bell, for instance. It has held court in the tower of East College on the DePauw campus since 1879, brandishing its beneficent authority over generations of DePauw students. Its insistent commands still signal the hours of decision. For some, the interruption of a productive session in the library. And freshmen learn early who their real boss is. The lofty senior may fight a little harder, but even he knows when to give in. And if their pearls of wisdom aren't recorded in those examination blue books by now, students may earn a little sympathy from the old bell, but absolutely no extension of time. It announces the end of the lecture, the formal part anyway, although its authority sometimes is ignored momentarily by those with special problems.
How can you tell if this is an exact differential equation?
Well, let's look at the way an exact differential equation would be formed. For example, we'll start with this primitive. Some function of x and y equals a constant. Now we'll form the differential equation. We'll have to take the differential of both sides of this and recall from the calculus how this is done.
There's no doubt about it. The old bell is accustomed to giving orders so that the educational process continues to move ahead in a creative manner. Education, of course, is much more than committing facts to memory. It is a striving to understand the philosophies and motivations and conclusions of the great minds of many civilizations. In this seminar, for instance, students explore with their professor the many historical factors which influenced literature and drama.
Who can cite this?
In book 3 of his Confessions, he says that plays put him full of miseries and made him sad. He can understand why men should want to be made sad.
So they are abusing themselves in the sense in going to the theater when they should be going to the church?
Right. It's a secular type of relationship rather than a spiritual.
Dr. Beaver,
And if the mountain won't go to Muhammad, the next best thing is for the professor to bring back part of the mountain from a distant research expedition.
They were formed beneath the surface of the earth. For some reason or other, the rock was heated enough so that it boiled or melted, and then explosively was thrown out of the volcano. And when it was thrown out, you see, it dropped down on the sides of the volcano, was hard enough that it actually held its shape. And thus we have all kinds of these bombs scattered around the edge of a volcano.
The sciences, so strongly emphasized today, traditionally have been among DePauw's great academic strengths. According to one recent study, DePauw ranks among the nation's top 10 colleges and universities in the production of scientists listed in American Men of Science. In all fields, nearly 70% of DePauw's male graduates eventually earn advanced degrees. Only a few short steps up College Avenue and the test tube gives way to the brush and easel.
Her concept here, Barbara, the relationship not only of this rectangle, but how it relates to the entire rectangle of the canvas and how the relationship goes from one rectangle to another. And there's nothing more important and should be solved in, most of it should be solved in the original concept.
Music, of course, is as much a part of DePauw as, well, as Blue Book exams. It might be a Bach fugue.
All right.
Though the music of Broadway is represented enthusiastically, too. Sometimes a group just gets together to have fun and put on a good show. The inevitable jam session seems to be well rooted in our culture. Higher education has been DePauw's business for more than 125 years, and it has been a history rich in achievement. Students may select areas of study from 21 different academic departments in the College of Liberal Arts, or they may enroll in the School of Music or School of Nursing. Ample opportunities exist for study abroad. DePauw graduates have attained positions of prominence in business, teaching, government, medicine, law, journalism, research. The list is endless. It is difficult to pinpoint exact reasons for DePauw's success. Insistence upon rigid academic standards certainly is basic, but the potential educational impact of one's leisure hours is significant too. Extracurricular activities provide a valuable proving ground for creativity and the acceptance of responsibility. Few campuses can boast the beauty and comfort of DePauw's residence halls and fraternal units. All residence halls, sororities, and fraternities have house mothers, and usually it takes several students to keep up with the bridge fanaticism of just one mom.
More the merrier. Thank you.
But there is something else DePauw has sought throughout its great history, and that is to be an institution in which concern for moral and spiritual values is no less than concern for intellectual values. DePauw University was founded in 1837 by the Methodist Church. It was a bond broadly conceived, and the founding fathers reflected exceptional vision in acting to establish, in their words, a literary institution equal to any college or university in the valley of the Mississippi, conducted upon the most liberal principles, accessible to all our citizens without distinction of name or sect. DePauw students come from nearly every state, many foreign countries, and they represent over 30 different religious denominations. the university does manifest a sincere concern for moral and spiritual values, but with no abrogation of intellectual freedoms. It is significant that the events preceding the inauguration of William E. Kerstetter as DePauw's 16th president were launched with a worship service, and that pre-inaugural lecturers should stretch student minds in matters of philosophy and in issues of current world concern. John T. McNaughton, DePauw alumnus and the then General Counsel for the Department of Defense, brought his intimate insight on the complicated factors which have influenced and would continue to influence United States defense policies.
Problem we'll have. Nevertheless, let us go back to your, and I'm speaking to the 21-year-old out there, your life. I think that probably practically all of your life has been spent in an environment in which the United States has had enormous international commitments. My first 21 years, the ones that preceded yours, were generally speaking isolationist years. I have the impression that as I sat out there, while I didn't think that everything was simple and I didn't think that everything was black and white, I thought things in the international area were fairly simple and that they were fairly black and white.
Old gold balloons are a tradition, and so are giant chrysanthemums, if, that is, you dig deep for the change. The players clear their first hurdle. And the game is on. Look out. Well, there have to be some disappointments. With this crowd, who needs a referee? But Coach Mont, the picture of tranquility and confidence, gets the ball back. It's a touchdown. And the old gold balloons, which had not already escaped, are released in traditional salute. While the players are resting, the show must go on. And this kind of show is guaranteed to hold spectator interest. Yes, the old bell has presided over these same activities for a great many decades. Occasionally, there is found in the bushes at the foot of Venerable East College a fallen brick, and old-timers chuckle that this is just one more button popped from the vest of a proud bell tower, for there is so very much about which to be proud. This is DePauw, a little of the routine and a little of the unusual, but all adding up to a cherished experience with lifelong impact. And what once seemed an unimaginative monotone vibrating from an old bell tower has somehow taken on a peculiarly penetrating and meaningful melody. What is a bell's connection with higher education? What is this bell's connection with DePauw? question seems a little unnecessary now.